Okay. Gavin, let's go. I want to go to the range.
I'm coming, Dad.
All right. We got targets, ear pro, switchblade, range bag, got the papers for transport. All right, looks like I got everything. Dude, what are you doing?
You said range.
Yeah, the shooting range, not the driving range.
Give me a second, Dad. I think I got you.
Seriously? Hey guys, pretty excited. Finally got out to the range. You know, balancing between work and everything else. It's a bit of a struggle. And really excited today because I have both my kids with me. Gareth, who's always behind the camera, does most of the editing. And I have Gavin, my youngest. He's with me as well. We're at the range and we're gonna shoot 2 revolvers today. The 22 Ruger Wrangler, and we're gonna shoot the 357 Blackhawk. I've shot a couple of revolvers. Gavin, have you ever shot a revolver? No.
No.
So he's never shot a revolver. I don't think Gareth, have you ever shot a revolver?
No.
Okay, so Gareth's never shot a revolver either. I'm the guy with the beard, guns and gear, and today I have 2 kids with me. So it's a great day. You come out here, the range is empty, we got a fire going, it's a little bit brisk outside. We were talking about shooting the video outside, but I think it's just gonna be a little bit too much on the hands and whatnot, so we're gonna do it on the, I guess you call this the shoot house. So we have a 15-meter range set up. I'm gonna unbox and take out the firearms that we're gonna be shooting today. You guys have all seen these. The absolutely gorgeous Ruger Wrangler 22 caliber long rifle, okay? And one of the important things, actually, if you know which direction your firearms are pointing, you should always kind of open the box with the firearm pointing downrange. I had one cocked the other way, so there was no safe escape. That's why I put it sideways. All right, so the second firearm is the Ruger Blackhawk. I think we're gonna leave that in the box for now, and we're gonna go over a little bit of fundamentals of shooting a revolver. I am absolutely not a professional, but I think as far as handling it safely, I know what I'm doing. 28 years in the military, plus other courses has certainly helped me. Essential equipment for today. We need some eye protection, which every one of us has and we will be using. We need ear protection. You only get 1 set of ears, 1 set of eyes. So there's a couple of different things on the market. I'm gonna go over this as far as gear. Gavin's wearing one of those noise reduction headsets. It's a Caldwell. I'm wearing a Walker set. They're excellent, really good. You don't have to scream. You don't always have to worry about them. Once you put them on, you can kind of forget about that they're on your head. The other ones are a little bit more like if you want to have a conversation, you got to take them off. I'm going to go over the ammunition. All right, we have 3 types of ammunition to shoot for the 22. We have the absolute cheapest stuff that you can get. The old Winchester Wildcat 22 caliber. Everybody's seen this stuff, right? It's super, super, super cheap. I'd like to tell you what grade it is, but I'm not sure my eyes are gonna focus that well, and I'm not sure it's even marked on that box. It just says long rifle, high velocity. So, we have the Winchester Wildcat 22. Again, cheapest stuff you can get. We have the Federal. This is full copper jacketed. I know it says CGI on it, but it is not. It's Federal. I just like to keep the boxes because it keeps the rounds separated instead of having a bulk box. So we have that, and then we have probably the most popular as far as if people care about their equipment and guns and they want to shoot something with a little bit more pep to it, the 22 long rifle Stinger, and this is 32 grain. So for a 22, it's pretty hot ammo coming out. For the 357, and we'll probably talk about that later, but I bought 38 Special and 357. We'll take a look at those rounds because the difference between the 2 calibers is pretty significant. And again, this is one of those guns you can shoot 38 Special out of a 357. You don't have to worry about it. So we are going to get to work. 6 rounds loaded in the cylinder. She's good to go. All right, I'm going to turn my hearing on, and I usually wear the other ones, so I just picked these up today. So I'm going to get my assistant to help me find the switch on my ear protection. All right, excellent. So the great thing about this ear protection is it actually amplifies the sounds when you're speaking below a certain decibel level. And it'll cancel out everything else. All right. You guys ready? We're going hot. One of the things I kind of wanted to find out, it's unloaded now and safe. One of the things I wanted to find out is which is going to give me the most fun. Okay, 22 caliber, I love those rifles. I can sit there all day and plink, 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 plink. I haven't heard too many people say, wow, that was a great day at the range firing a 30-06 or a 300 Winchester mag for 3 hours on end. Okay, but a 22, it's fun, it's affordable, it's a fantastic starter firearm. Gavin, if you'd like to come over now and fire a few rounds, or we can go down and check. Do you want to go down and check the target and see where we're at? Because I have no idea where it hit. I'm good eyes for distance, but not so good eyes for close up. Okay, so I've never professed to be a great pistol shot. This is way up and left because I was aiming dead center here, but again, that front blade is really, really hard to see and hard to make out down that really narrow groove. I'm kind of hoping the 357 is easier to make out because it does have an actual notch rear sight and a front blade like what you're used to. But you're trying to put that front blade, you know, between the notches, equal height, you know, and equal space on each side. That's what you want to do, and then line it up obviously with the center of the target. I'm pretty good with a rifle, not great with a pistol, but I'm trying to get better, probably like everybody else watching these videos. All right, so we're gonna go back, we're gonna reload, and we'll go for take two. Okay, so one of the things that I absolutely love about revolvers is they're not overly fussy on ammunition, where some semi-automatics can be. So it had absolutely no problem with the Wildcat 22, the cheapest ammunition that you can find in bulk. I think it's even cheaper than the bucket of bullets. So we moved along to not the CGI, but this is the federal ammunition. So it's already loaded, ready to go. We are red, ears are on, eye protection's down, and as you can see, I've put my glasses on. So I'm gonna see if I can see that front sight a little bit, and that is heaps better. All right. You also notice I put some gloves on because it's brutal. All right, so we kind of moved quickly through the 22 ammunition because there didn't seem to be very much of a difference. They all fired, and there wasn't much difference, if any. I couldn't discern any anyway, as far as cheap ammunition versus expensive. Maybe if we went out to a further range or with rifles and semi-automatics, like I said, it's a little bit more problematic. This is the next guy, the bad boy. 357 Magnum, okay? Capable of shooting 38 special. Like I said, this has been in my possession, my ownership, for, I'm gonna say 15, maybe it's 12, but somewhere around that, and it has never been fired, okay? I'm really, really super stoked. I can kind of feel my heart going a little bit. It's exciting. I think my kids are excited / scared a little bit. Intimidated. Okay, so just gonna compare the cartridge sizes, okay? Here we have 357 ammunition. It's 125 grain, and we'll compare it to the Stinger ammunition, which is 32 grain. Okay, I'll show you a close-up of that. So in my left hand, your right, is going to be 357 ammo, and then there's the little tiny baby 22 ammo. It's so tiny. All right, so that's the 357. That's the big boy, right? The 125 grain 357. Right, because 38 special is not the big boy. This is 158 grain 38 special ammunition. I want to shoot 357 because it's 357. And I want to shoot 357. All right. Same principle as the last one, but oh my God, you can see the cylinders so well because it is ginormous. And you can hear that click of the cylinder rotating is just so satisfying. Oh. So we have 6 357 ammunition rounds in here. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot this bad boy right now because I am so stoked. All right, and I've never zeroed it, so I have no idea where it's gonna shoot. You guys ready? Oh my God, that is amazing. I'm so surprised because I really thought that the 357 fights the 22. I thought I was going to be like, okay, forget the 357, let's just shoot 22. And yeah, it's expensive. I think I paid 43 bucks for one box of 357, but wow, that is so much fun. All right, we're going to do a unload here. She is clear. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I'm gonna go ahead and say it, that's the most fun you can have with your pants on. All right, Gavin, you wanna give this thing a whoop?
A whirl?
Yeah. So proud. Damn. Gee, that's pretty good, Gavin. Oh, I guess you didn't count your rounds.
That thing's so cool.
I just went over to the 38 special again. It's the 158 grain, less propellant, bigger round. We'll see what happens. I knew that was 6. Okay, I'd be remiss if I didn't do at least one-handed. So I think I'm gonna hit 2, but well, I'm gonna try to hit the target, but we'll see how that goes. Ah, there's nothing to it. Barely a kick. All right. You want to give that a little whip? There's hardly anything to it. I think the 357 would probably twist it a little bit more than the 38. Like I said, a little bit more propellant, a little hotter round coming out of there.
How do you do this? I feel like
Yep, like that.
all right,
Just lay it down on its side. Okay.
Actually, like different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you need some big man hands for this.
You need long thumbs. Nice. All right. All right. So first time ever firing a revolver. He's got a 38 special coming up. I'm not sure when. He should have 2 clicks, but he moved the cylinder, so I don't know if it's going to go off the first time or the second. Oh, there we go. Good shot, because that was a surprise. There.
Yeah, this one is a good one.
Hey family, friends, viewers. We're going to close up the video today in the house. Yesterday we kind of lost light out at the range, and it was getting really difficult, especially with the temperatures dropping, to keep the camera up and running. So we brought it back to the house, and I was thinking about, you know, what my impressions were. I talked about it with both other shooters, kids, and we also had a guest shooter come in who had never fired a revolver at all, just another member of the range who was kind of out there, and we said, hey, you know, you want to try this? And he gave it a whirl. So, as we've already alluded to, you know, we had the Ruger Wrangler out there, the 22 long rifle, and we had the Ruger Blackhawk 357. Shot 38 special and 357 ammo out of this. And out of the Ruger Wrangler, we shot 22 long rifle. Something I want to mention actually is that other 22 pistols, you can change the cylinder and go to a 22 Magnum. This one you cannot. So it is stuck in the 22 long rifle, which is fine because, I mean, it's the reason why I bought it is kind of, you know, inexpensive to shoot, and it's a good kind of training introductory gun. It's not going to scare anybody. All right, so shot both of them, and honestly, I got to be honest. Before I went out there, I was thinking that this was going to win hands down in all regards. It was going to be more fun. I was really going to enjoy this. And I gotta say, I was a little bit disappointed because this was fun. I'm not taking anything away with it. Okay, there's a lot of fun, a lot of enjoyment to be had by shooting kind of a shorter barrel revolver, 4.62 inches, like I said before. But the second I shot this, and I'm hoping you can see it on the video, like just the difference, it's so visceral. The enjoyment that you get out of shooting this larger caliber handgun is amazing compared to the 22 caliber. Bigger is better. I mean, it was more accurate. It was easier to fire. It was easier to hold up there. I mean, it was just, it's easier to load and to remove the cartridges out of the cylinder. I mean, the cartridges of a 357 or a 38 special, it's got some weight. And if you close in on the cylinder, I mean, you can see how big that opening is. So tipping it back, a lot of times we're able to remove the cartridges and they just dropped out. Whereas this one, I'm not even sure if you can see this on video. It's a very tight squeeze. So if you have fat fingers, good luck trying to even fit your thumb in there to load the cartridges so they're flush. And then when you tip it up, there's not enough weight in an empty cartridge for it just to drop out. So every single time, and maybe this will loosen up a little bit with wear, but every single time you had to rotate the cylinder until you got to where you could plunge, use the plunger to extract it, okay? And when you're cold, when it is cold, this attracts the cold, this attracts the cold, and it steals the heat out of your hands. So we ended up doing a lot of shooting with gloves, which I really don't like doing. And you know, we'll be going back in the summer once it warms up, or even in the spring once it warms up. Not that I won't be shooting over the winter, but we'll be going back and seeing if we can give this another try. I want to talk about ammunition, okay? The reason why people buy revolvers to train with, or to use, or to practice, or just to have fun with, is because, I mean, they don't need a lot of care and maintenance, okay? They pretty well go on their own. I found no difference at all in the price of ammunition. So if you really wanted to be a little bit frugal, you could just go buy a brick of 1,000 rounds of Wildcat 22 ammo and plug away with this. The bucket of bullets, if you can find it, the bulk ammunition, it's not gonna care, okay? There is no such thing as cheap, I'm gonna be honest, there's no such thing as cheap ammo for this 357. Everything is around the $42, $45 mark, and it just depends on what you wanna shoot. If you wanna shoot 38 special, it is a big projectile, 158 grain we were shooting yesterday, but it's not as much powder packed into that 38 special, so it's a little bit less of a snap. If you wanna shoot 357, that is what I enjoyed, and you'll probably see in the videos, I think my kids enjoyed the same thing, you know, shooting that 357, getting that little, you know, crank on the wrist, so to speak, was very enjoyable. All right, I'm gonna show the targets here, and obviously all the ones close to the center were shot by me. No, that's not even true. That's not even close to being true. Okay, so this is like the 22 ammo that we're just playing around with. Unsupported, it was kind of all over the place. Once you got supported and settled down, you could see this a little bit better. And this is my biggest complaint. Not that there's a lot of complaint about this pistol. I love the look of it when I first picked it up. That bronze Cerakote is just gorgeous. But trying to pick out the contrast between a black end blade sight down the groove of a bronzed, and you can see there's no blade sight back there whatsoever. They could have made this pistol so much better if they just had stuck a blade sight on it. We were under shelter, so we had a roof over our heads. I mean, maybe in bright daylight it's easier to see. The notch is fairly small, and like I said, trying to pick out bronze against bronze with kind of a shadow over top was pretty difficult. I found the best shots that I had was full out supported, almost getting that handgun out into the daylight so I could see the contrast a little bit, and the light was picking up a little bit better. But I mean, there's probably some very easy solutions to that. One of them, I mean, you could put whatever color of nail polish or paint on the end. I'd actually thought about bringing out a bunch of my wife's nail polish and just seeing which one showed the best contrast. And you could do that very easily by just, you know, putting it basically on the slide, putting the cap basically, sorry, not on the slide, but on the barrel, and then looking down that groove to see which one actually shows the best contrast. So it's not very expensive for nail polish. If you're lucky enough to have a wife who really enjoys doing her nails, then you can just go through her little stash and pick whichever one you think is going to work well. Orange, reds, greens, they seem to work well, even a white, but picking up on that bronze would certainly have helped. This, very much more traditional, right? It's black, you've got the sight in the back, which you can actually adjust if it was off. We never adjusted it. I never found that it was an issue. I didn't think that this was getting me off target at all. Just my older eyes, which is, after I shot the first couple of rounds, I put glasses on so I could actually pick out the front sight, because that's what you want to be focused on when you're shooting a pistol. So we'll talk a little bit about the 357, and I'm sorry, but I don't know which one is which. That is not the 357 or the 38. So I don't know which one is which. This is kind of, we swapped it up. Sometimes we shot 38 with a follow-on of 357. If I was going to guess, I would say the bigger holes are probably 38, and then the smaller holes are a little bit faster going around, so those are probably the 357. Did have some very good accuracy results with it. Okay, we were shooting at 15 meters. You can see like where we tried to actually pick out the small targets, and if you're shooting quickly, you're probably going to be in this range. And if you were supported, I think this is 5 rounds or 4 or 5 rounds supported here, and then some other follow-on. Anyway, never found any difference for the cheap ammo vice the expensive ammo. So like I said, I don't think it's even worth it. I think it's worth it if you go and get yourself a semi-automatic 22 rifle and you want to run some good ammo, and you're fortunate enough to have a model of semi-automatic 22 that has longer magazines, and you want to run through that without any stoppages. Then I think the more expensive, maybe even the mediocre like the Federal, is really good, but it's not going to affect a revolver. So I hope you liked this video. I know my kids had a great time. I had a fantastic time. I just wish it was a little bit warmer. The wind was down a little bit, and we could have spent more time there, obviously. So again, I'm the guy, Beard and Guns, giving you a review. I hope you liked the video, and we'll talk to you next time.